Number 5.
Everything goes and now become new.
Rapper Kanye West joins a growing chorus of celebrities, taking a stand against racism and police brutality.
Kanye West was photographed in his hometown of Chicago on Thursday, joining demonstrators in support of George Floyd. We are going to march! This isn't the first time West has shown his support for Floyd. A representative for the rapper confirms to People that he also created a 529 college savings plan to fully cover tuition for Floyd's 6-year-old daughter. He has also donated $2 million to support the families in legal funds for Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor.
At number 4, the list of help goes on.
What do we want?
Meanwhile, more stars are pledging financial support for social justice causes with the hopes of inspiring others to donate as well. ET confirms Angelina Jolie gave $200,000 to the NAACP. On Instagram, Leonardo DiCaprio pledges his support for the organization, as well as Color of Change, Fair Fight Action, and the Equal Justice Initiative. And Kevin and Joe Jonas, along with their wives, joined brother Nick and his wife Priyanka Chopra in supporting the Equal Justice Initiative.
At number 3.
Today, a final farewell, the funeral for George Floyd.
Funerals, protests, and pain are giving birth to new music that's touching lives.
And if you think we live in a land of the free, you should try to be, black like me.
That's Black Like Me from country music star Mickey Guyton.
I have been an absolute wreck since Ahmaud Arbery. It was my pain. You know, I was writing about my pain, and to know that it can help other people, and it's just such a beautiful God moment.
Why do I feel skin dark tonight?
That's Sweeter from soul singer Leon Bridges.
I've always struggled with how to write about, some of the problems that we face in America as Black men. And I've always struggled with how to write about those things in a tasteful way. And when I look at this song, Sweeter, I just feel like it's a gift from God in a way.
At number 2.
Welcome to the first of hopefully many episodes of Uncomfortable Conversations with the Black Man.
Former NFL linebacker and ESPN analyst Emmanuel Acho with a new social media show, tackling the issues of race head on.
I mean, white people have reached out to me asking, how can I help? How can I join in? How can I stand with you? So I've created this for you.
In the series, Acho explores real questions from real people, like why are Black people rioting instead of protesting peacefully? Why does white privilege exist? How come you can say the N-word and we can't? How come Black people care more about white-on-Black crime than Black-on-Black crime?
I fervently believe that if the white person is your problem, only the white person can be your solution.
At number 1, we could all use a good laugh.
My name is Ben Marcus. Somehow I found myself as the main editor of a reality TV show called
Rosie's Roses. You made me look like a moron, for heaven's sake.
And comedian Michael Jr. delivers the funny in his new film, Selfie Dad, being released Father's Day weekend.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. You're not gonna believe this. I started a YouTube page.
I feel like this is so timely in light of all that we're going through, because we could certainly focus on the headlines, from police being, Black men being stopped by a police officer, to COVID-19, to, just all the things we're going through. But this offers us two things: a lot of laughter, but also a lot of hope in the face of disaster that we're facing as a world right now.
Absolutely, because even in the police scene where I get pulled up, there was a struggle, a real struggle between me and the directors and the producers about how that police scene should go down. Because initially it was written, when I read it the first time, it was written where I get out of the car. I was like, I ain't getting out the car. It's like, why not? We don't get out the car. That's not what we do. And they didn't understand that. Well, why not? I was like, exactly. That's why we are where we are right now. They had no idea. But I was able to take those differences and create some funny out of it and shed some light on it as well.
Well, Ephraim joins us now, and let's kick off with Michael Jr.'s new film, Selfie Dad. I hear that there's not a single selfie in Selfie Dad. Is that true?
That's true, actually. I don't think there is a single selfie in the film. I've seen it twice. I don't think so. But lots of laughs. And really, it pushes
us as believers to get back to reading the Bible and having a closer relationship with God, while also making us laugh time and time again. He plays a father who wants to be a comedian but is stuck in a job that he hates, and then makes a viral YouTube video and then gets what he wants, but in the process loses what he needs, that relationship with God and that relationship with his family.
Okay, so you're recommending it?
Highly. It's coming out Father's Day weekend.
2 thumbs up, 1 thumb up, 1.5. Awesome. We got full 2. All right.
Yes.
We are going to be talking to Michael Jr. on Monday, too, so stay tuned for that. Yeah.
And also on Friday on the 700 Club.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
I like what he said, that he started a YouTube page.
I know. See,
Yeah.
It's a channel, but, it's fine.
Well, give
Just
him a
like a
break.
dad.
He's older.
All right, well, let's talk about...
Me.
No, you're young. You're young, Gordon. Young at heart.
I'm going to do a MySpace page.
I'm right there with you.
I'm not sure those exist anymore, but there's always Facebook and Instagram.
MySpace is coming back.
I don't know.
It's the new in thing.
I think it's gone forever.
Yeah, it's so old it's gotten in.
No. All right, well, let's move on to Kanye West. He is joining the protesters amongst other celebrities as well, right?
Indeed. He marched last week in Chicago with, as you saw, thousands of people there on the street. And the march there was for the Chicago public school system to break its contract and end its contract with Chicago police, and to invest rather in normal security as opposed to having police officers patrol the school buildings. But in addition to that, he's not only marching, he has established a fund for George Floyd's daughter, a scholarship fund, and donated at least $2 million to the families of Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery as well.
That's beautiful. I love.
Do you think this is going to be the trigger point that actually leads to change? That it's not just, more protests, more marches, more talk, but we're actually going to see change?
I really do. That is certainly what I'm feeling. And in talking to people like my parents and family members who have lived through the civil rights movement as adults and watching this all play out, they feel that there is something different. And I'm feeling like if they feel that there's something different, there's got to be something different about this. And the diversity of the people that we're seeing, I will say this, even in my own life, for the first time, my wife and I both have received calls, texts from people that we associate with or are friends with who aren't Black, white, Hispanic, all asking, what can they do? What should they be reading? How can they help? And that has never happened to us before. My wife's former secretary, she hasn't had this woman as a secretary in probably 10 to 15 years, texted her an apology for the things that she know that she did that were wrong, that her family did, and also saying, I want to reconnect, but I want to reconnect more deeply, and I want to figure out what I can do. And that's never happened to us before.
Wow.
Okay, well, let's launch into it. What advice are you giving? What can people do to actually have change?
One of the things that I'm encouraging, my wife and I both have been encouraging people who've reached out to us to do is, first off, don't just have these conversations with us because we're Black. Have these conversations with your family, the people who that you have watched discriminate, the people you've watched who make jokes that you know aren't appropriate. Begin to have those conversations with them and put yourself, imagine if we were in the room. So literally defend us, stand up for us, even when we're not in the room. Education is extremely important. That's why we saw Emmanuel Acho launching an online series, if you will, where he literally is entertaining some basic questions, some questions that are hard to answer as well. I encourage people to watch it, follow it. It's a very intelligent conversation. He's got 2 episodes so far. The first one you're seeing there. The second one is one where he sits down with Matthew McConaughey, both of them from Austin, Texas, and they have a conversation about some of those questions. And it really is eye-opening and insightful. Please be curious. There are a number of great books out there to begin reading. Tony Evans has a great one called One Together. A number of things. It's great to reach out to your friends who don't look like you, but you want to establish and build relationships with people who don't look like you, but also defend us when we're not in the room.
Yeah.
Any advice for police departments here? I know that you went through it. We had the conversation where literally you're 2 blocks from your home, and this is right here in Virginia Beach, and you get pulled over and then taken out of the car and then slammed on top of the hood.
Yeah.
Literally 2 blocks from your home, and the police are saying you don't belong in this neighborhood, and that's why they're doing it. That's why they pulled you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, that memory still jars me. It still shakes me up. And to this day, even when I go out to run in the morning, my wife tells me, you know, it still concerns me. I wish you would stop. And I say, well, no, I want to exercise. I enjoy running, and I've got a right to do that. And I do my best to do it safely. I really encourage police officers to look at people as people and ask yourself, you know, would you want this to happen to you? I mean, does this person really pose a threat? And Michael Jr. recommends something. He thinks that it should be mandatory that police officers actually be forced to go to communities not in uniform and to break bread with the people who they're supposedly serving and protecting. It should be mandatory that every few months, you've got to get out there and be a part of the community. And I will say that when we have relationships with people, we don't look at them as the enemy. We don't look at them as other. We look at them as one of us.
Yeah, I think we've lost the neighborhood cop, and you know, even when we had it, we had a lot of racial profiling. But,
absolutely.
We've definitely lost that today, as you know, most officers today are on patrol in cars, and the old idea of, well, let's walk the beat. That's long gone, and let's know everybody by their first name.
Yeah.
And I think that's gone too.
Yeah.
Well, before we go, let's talk about some of the artists who are creating different songs. Mickey Guyton and Leon Bridges, they've come out with a few songs talking about the pain of racism.
Yeah, Mickey Guyton in particular, she shares on social media that part of what gave birth to that song was not just seeing the deaths of Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Naturally, she was impacted by those, and she spent days crying. But there were memories from childhood. One of the issues that happened for people of color, Black people, is when your family succeeds and advances and moves, you find yourself and your children being the only. So she found herself in classrooms where she was the only Black. And she's a country music singer, growing up in Texas. So very often she was singled out. She remembers particularly a white student who abused her, called her names. So all of that pain resonated inside. So that gave birth to the song, you know, you think you live in the home of the free. Well, try being Black like me. And those memories, that pain. And she says the responses that she's receiving in her direct messages and inbox have been overwhelming so far, more than she has ever seen. And she calls this a God moment for her and for the song.
Yeah, I definitely believe it is a God moment for our country, for the world. So Ephraim, thank you so much for just sharing your insight.
Also, just listen to your wife. Let's find a different place for you to run. I'm concerned about
when the gym's open, I'll be back in.
Well, I know an outdoor track that they might give you some, you know, permission to come run and be socially isolated. You're outdoors and you get to run around in a circle. But I'm just concerned. Yeah, listen to your wife. She's speaking words of wisdom.
What is the quote? Wives always know best. I don't know. Anyways, all right. Well, for
you heard it here.
For all the latest in
Ashley.
entertainment news, check out Ephraim's weekly show, Studio 5. You can watch it on the CBN News channel or online at cbn.com/Studio 5. Thank you so much, Ephraim. We love hearing from you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Gordon Robertson. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more encouraging videos like this one. Welcome to the 700 Club Interactive family, and God bless you.